Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. AtR podcast, Gio Garcia here. And I actually have a special guest today, man. Christian gonna make it. He was a little bit busy, but the show must continue. And you guys see him there on your screen. What's up, Santa? Hey, we've been good boys this year. Santa's here.
Whoa, ho, ho, Gio. First of all, thank you for inviting me to this podcast. That podcast partners is horrible, horrible, horrible. So I'm here to lighten up the mood. I know there's been a lot of talk of this Jake Paul. He's been on my naughty list 20 plus years, but hey, Gio, I'm here to defend him. I got to defend him for his work this weekend. But let's get started, Gio. Let's forget about that guy, Christian. He needs a couple days off.
Let's go.
And I don't know who NM is, man. Flat out.
To this day.
Till this day. Yeah, man. What up, Ice Man? We're checking in. Of course, we gotta talk Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, the big fight of last week, and I think it got a pretty good reception overall. Santa, would you say? I mentioned last week that I probably wasn't going to be able to watch it. I was out and about, and they actually had it at one of the establishments where I was. So, and people were actually paying attention to it. I'm sure a lot of people were hoping that what happened, you know, and yeah, let's get into it. Obviously we have another big weekend with Naoya Inoue and Junto Nakatani on the same card. But let's start here, Santa, because I'm sure we'll have a lot to say. But yeah, your thoughts on this fight. We'll get into the numbers. Netflix unveils Joshua Paul viewership numbers. I haven't looked at them. We'll get into that, but initial thoughts of this fight, Mr. Santa.
Well, Gio, let me just say, the social media should be all about me. It's a time of the season. I only pick 1 month out of the year to be known. But these past 3 or 4 days, Gio, it's been all Jake Paul on the web, on social media, everything, Gio. And again, I know I've said it. He's been on my naughty list for a while, but for him to reach this many people, which people like me don't see often. So we gotta give this guy Jake Paul his due. He got in there with a real fighter, and Anthony Joshua that only the boxing heads know. But you gotta give this young kid that's been on the naughty list some props. He got in there with a true fighter, a heavyweight, clearly much bigger than him. And I know a little thing about size, Gio. I know a little thing about size. So again, the result that most people expected, but come on, you gotta give Jake Paul his respect. He got in there, lasted 6+ rounds. Dana doesn't place bets, but he did not expect him to go that long, Gio. I'm gonna just say that right now. So again, respect to Jake Paul for doing what he did. It took a lot of eyeballs away from me this past weekend, Gio.
So, Santa, what you're saying is size does matter.
Oh, it does, Gio. It does. And those punches, you couldn't fake those, Gio. Could not fake those punches from that big boy Joshua.
Yeah, man. Look, Santa. Let me tell you this, man. Let me pull up that poll real quick. Whoever picked um Jake Paul to have any chance in this fight, we got to know who that is, Santa. Look, you see his face there. Whoa. He was shook. Where's that poll? Last week we posted a poll about a week ago. Does Jake Paul stand a chance versus Anthony Joshua? 18% said yes, Santa. 191 votes, man. What are your thoughts on that? We got to find them, and they shouldn't get any presents this Christmas or the next Christmas, let me tell you.
Yeah, the people that predicted that Jake Paul was going to have any sort of chance, they probably thought the gimmick was in, or there was some sort of back alley talk. And Santa sees all, Gio. There was no such thing. This was clearly a one-sided affair. Everybody that knows boxing knew what was going to happen, unless, as aforementioned, there was the shenanigans at work. But clearly not. Obviously, when I first saw the ring, I'm like, dang, that's a big ring. I could fit all of my Rangers in that ring, Gio. it was a huge ring, and we kind of knew what was going to happen. Jake Paul was going to run, and that's exactly what he did. He was in survival mode, and it was nothing. It was just a matter of time before Joshua got sent in jail. But for the people that thought that Jake Paul had a prayer, no presents for you guys this year. Call me next year.
Hey, man, Santa's spitting fact.
And I don't know who NM is, man. Flat out.
To this day.
Flat out.
To this day.
Shout out to AB. He's still on the naughty list, Gio. We're trying to get him off the list, but it's not looking good, man. It's not looking good.
He is on the naughty list, man. But look, Santa, on my end, I do want to give Jake Paul some credit. I also, his team, Santa, his team, his corner should be on the naughty list, man. They should get no presents this Christmas either, because they could have saved that boy, Santa. They could have saved him, and they chose not to. He went down how many times? About 6, 7? And they still didn't save him, Santa. They were talking to him around 7, right? You were in between, or actually Chris was in between round 6 and 7. They were talking to him after round 5. I predicted for him to go down around 5. He survived, right? But then on the next one, he gets badly hurt, man. And his corner should be held responsible for that, man. He could have walked away somewhat healthy from this fight. He could have boxed again probably in 6 months, maybe make another 90 million. But instead, he got a broken jaw, and he's probably going to be on the sidelines for a while, Santa. So, Santa, Jake Paul's corner should not get presents this year at all. What were they thinking?
Let me just say, Gio, Christmas and me as a symbol, we're supposed to remember what's important in life. Mind the gift, Gio. You're supposed to know what's important in life.
And I don't know who NM is, man.
I must say that Jake Paul's corner was only looking at the dollar bills, and they were going to get paid regardless, Gio. They should have rescued their man from themselves, but again, we've seen it time and time again that dollar bill can blind anybody. And so, yeah, Jake Paul's team on the naughty list, and they got to do something special next year for me to take them off, because they were not there for their fighter, Gio.
God, no. And I don't know who NM is, man. Flat out.
To this day.
100%, man. So, yeah, that happened. Jake Paul went down, I don't know how many times. I think he was smart about it. I feel like his feet weren't under him, his legs. He kept going down and trying to make it seem like it was an accident. Referee kind of cut him some slack. And, AJ, kind of as I predicted, he played a little bit with his food. He also said that he wasn't as satisfied with his performance. He said he could have knocked him out since the beginning, but he did give Jake Paul some credit. But as I said, at the end of the day, let's play it. Let's play it. Let's play the knockout here. At the end of the day, you see the round 6, badly hurt. Oh man, what a punch! And you can tell, Santa, you don't play boxing, man. Are you guys watching what I'm watching? Yes, you are. You don't play boxing, man. At the end of the day, Jake Paul seemed a little confused as to how to defend himself, left himself wide open. It could have been very, very bad, man. As here we get to that knockout blow. Here it is. Boom. AJ set it up very nicely with a jab to the body, left hook, boom, jab to the body. Blinded him with that one, and then came back upstairs. Jake Paul was badly hurt. You see it there. Boom. No defense. This might be up there, Santa. We saw some good knockouts this past weekend, including Ramon Cardenas, who got a good one. But this one, man, this is going to make, I'm sure, a lot of noise. It is December. Recency bias. You see it there. Boom. Big punch there. No chance for Jake Paul. I'm sorry, man. I feel like this fight was close to 0% chance for Jakey. We'll get into some comments in a second, but those are my biggest takeaways. Number one, man, these guys got paid $92 million apiece. 2, easy money for AJ. I feel like he was smart to take it. He's put in the work throughout his career. I feel like he's earned the stripes from fighting guys like Klitschko to Alexander Usyk 2 times to guys like Dillian White, Chisora, when he was still young in his career. I feel like he earned it. And for Jake Paul, I don't know what he was thinking. He went from fighting a guy who's 5'4", 140 pounds, Santa, to fighting a guy who is a foot taller than him, 100 pounds heavier than him, and we saw the result there. You don't play boxing, Santa. You don't play boxing.
To this day.
And Gio, a lot of these kids that want to be on the good list, they tell themselves, they deserve to be on the good list, and they've obviously been naughty. I like to think that Jake Paul just suffers some delusion, and sometimes that delusion is good. It takes you places. You overrun on confidence, and I get that helps you in life. But man, Joshua, true heavyweight former champion. This guy held some of the same titles that Mike Tyson, another naughty boy, held. So again, Jake Paul was just I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know. He was just falling in his delusionment. But again, oh man, he was taking so many punches. He was hugging Joshua. Looked like a kid trying to get gifts Christmas Eve. And man, he was getting so red up in the nose, it's starting to look like Rudolph. But again, Jake Paul, I'm almost tempted to put you on the good list because of what your team did. So he's got plenty of gifts, plenty of money from this fight, Joe. Maybe he doesn't need any more gifts.
He got a lot of gifts, man. 90 million. Big Bro says something about 90 million here in the comments. Let me go ahead and find it. See what they're talking about. For 90 million, quote unquote, he says, I would get in there and get my jaw broken as well. It's a lot of money. Iceman says, facts. 90 million definitely would get in that ring. I just wish he would have slept him. And you know what? Before the pod started, this video popped up on my YouTube feed. Jake Paul was on his brother Logan Paul's podcast. And that's one of the things that they talked about. I watched a couple minutes, but older brother Logan was giving Jake Paul credit and the other co-hosts too, because he didn't get knocked out. They were saying, oh man, look, the big punch that has landed on many big fighters, including Ngannou, and those guys got slapped. And he said, you were able to get up still. So they were giving him credit for that. Jake Paul probably retire after that, says Iceman. The highlights I saw, he was either running literally or on his knees holding up to AJ for dear life, hugging him like he wanted gifts, right, Santa, as you said?
It was hugging a little too much, Joe. A little too much for my liking. And I'm a hugger. But that was a little too much.
Oh man, let's get into the numbers, Santa. I haven't clicked on this article yet, but let's look for it. It's not this one. I believe it's this one here. Netflix unveils Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul viewership numbers. Netflix Friday night, as I said, I was out and about, and they were actually showing the fight, and people were actually like out there watching it, paying attention to it. Let's see what they say here. The fight, which streamed on Netflix from the whatever center in Miami, I'm not giving them any promo, drew an estimated average minute audience of 33 million viewers, live viewers. 33 million. How does that compare? Let's see if that compares it to the Tyson fight. Here it is. It drew an estimated 108 million. So wow, that one had 3 times as more viewerships. Of course, it's Mike Tyson. Got to put respect on Mike Tyson. Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano drew an estimated 74 million. Wow, that's an interesting number here. Didn't do as much as those. Thoughts, Santa? Santa, are you there? Are you asleep?
I hear you. Oh, no, those are still very impressive numbers, Gio. Of course, we know that the big popular side is Jake Paul. Not too many people knew Anthony Joshua unless you were a boxing head. So those numbers are still impressive. And I must say, when you get a good dance partner like Mike Tyson, that's gonna bring attention to women's boxing and all that. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing for the sport, Gio. But again, still very impressive numbers. Joshua would have to fight 5, 6 other guys to make that same amount. So it speaks to the popularity and the power of a Jake Paul. So again, Gio, I'm tempted to put him on the good list, take him off the naughty list. He's been taking a lot of heat on social media. You live by the sword, you die by the sword, Gio.
Yeah, so just to continue on these comparisons, Canelo versus Crawford drew an average of 36.6 million. They're saying this one did about 33 million. So right up there. It's right up there. It's not bad. Not bad at all. All right. So numbers look good. Their alleged um their alleged purse obviously looks good, 92 million apiece. So man, what's next? AJ, I don't know. We talked about it last week. Of course, they're still talking about that possible fight with Fury. To me, still would be the biggest fight in UK history. Maybe after that, both men can retire. I would still like to see it. I don't think both men have much time left, but I'd like to see that fight. And for Jake Paul, I don't know, man. I don't know if heavyweight fighting a heavyweight boxer, keyword on boxer. I don't know if fighting a heavyweight boxer was the best option, was the best decision. Obviously, broken jaw wasn't. So he might go down in weight and fight guys like Gervonta Tank Davis if he chooses to fight again. If he doesn't, hey, he had a good run. He had a good run, Santa. He put up numbers. He got paid. He got himself, he got an actual boxing star to fight him in a real fight. So to me, that's an accomplishment already to go from a YouTuber to that. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I feel like a lot of us saw this fight to watch him lose. That's what happened. I'm not sure I'm too interested in what happens after this when it comes to Jake Paul.
Yes, Gio. And again, Gio, I'm a world traveler. And when I go over the UK, I see the Joshuas, I see the Tyson Furies, Gio, and I feel like this Jake Paul fella might have just revived that interest. Here's a guy that 5 years ago was not fighting, and he uses popularity to probably make the most money each fight that he's fought, arguably. And now with this moment, Gio, it feel like Joshua and Tyson Fury might be resurfacing. Again, they say you're only as good as your last fight. How great did you shine? And even though Joshua is getting the shine off a non-true boxer, hey, to the numbers and to the powers that be, that's what matters. So if Joshua and Tyson Fury were to happen, it has to happen now, Gio. I have to be real. As good old Saint Nick, I have to be real. It has to be this year, or it's gonna go past its expiration date.
Yeah, 100%. Anything else on this, Mr. Santa? I'm ready to move on. I didn't watch the undercard. I'll be real. As I said, I didn't even think I would watch this fight, period. But hey, it was on. Wherever I was, it was on, and I got to watch it. And it was a decent fight. Not mad at it. Not mad at it. But yeah, those are just my final thoughts. These guys got the bag. They got paid. AJ did his thing. I think well deserved. If he retires after this or after the Fury fight, good for him. He should be on the big screen, I believe, Santa. I saw some videos and some reactions of Americans saying, "Man, who's this guy? Big, strong, handsome dude, no Diddy." But I feel like he definitely has, a lot of options after boxing. And Jake Paul, I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't care too much for his boxing career. He brought some entertainment. That's good. Brought a lot of eyes to boxing. I like what he's doing with women's boxing, signing a lot of female fighters. Alicia Baumgartner, Yokasta Valle more recently, Amanda Serrano. He's doing good things. Also signing some younger guys there too. So I feel like he has a future outside of boxing as well. But hey, not a bad fight, man. Not a bad fight for a Friday night on Netflix.
Yeah, Gio, my final thoughts is, again, props to Jake Paul for taking in a bigger guy. Let me tell you, you don't see the Owls wearing this shoe, Gio. Only the big man could wear this one. And again, I might also stop by Netflix and drop some gifts their way in a time where there's so many paywalls for them to give this fight if you're subscribed. That will get you on the good list, Gio. And finally, Gio, shout out to everybody out there tuning in. And again, you guys keep the sport alive. So blessings to all.
Get off your knees, Santa, says Big Bro.
Alexis, Big Bro, naughty list. Don't get for him.
All right. What else do we have? Let's see here. We got some good, exciting action this weekend. Of course, we got, you see it there, the monster, Naoya Inoue against David Picasso, Junto Nakatani against Sebastian Hernandez, another title fight there, Kenshiro Teraji against Baldo Garcia Perez. Riyadh season, Saudi Arabia. All right, so Saudi Arabia, I have to Google what time this fight is. Main event ring walk, approximately 7:57 a.m. Eastern time, 4:57 a.m. Pacific time. Very specific there. All right, so around 5 in the morning if you're in the Pacific, to be specific. If you're on the East, around 8 a.m. That's Saturday, December 25th, Riyadh season card. Inoue, Nakatani. This is on the Zone. This is pay-per-view. So I went on the Zone to try to see how much this was. I'm not sure if it's too clear on there. I believe it's $39.99. All right, but then they try to make you buy the Zone Ultimate Pass. That's $39.99 a month, and then you get the pay-per-views for free. So there you have it. I don't know, Santa.
Gio,
Maybe I asked for this as my gift for Christmas. Maybe I asked for the Zone pay-per-view. No, Santa looks tired. Look at him. I think Santa's frozen. What is this, the North Pole? Is he there? I'll make sure to bring Santa back. Santa, come back. Don't leave us. All right, give me 1 second here as I bring Mr. Santa back. I think he's a little frozen. I may have took him out of the live stream on exit. Santa was down for the count. My bad, Santa. But anyway, as I was saying, now, oh yeah, there you are, Santa. You're back. You guys see him?
Hey, Gio.
Oh, right, there you are. I think I accidentally closed your window, Santa. My fault. That's my fault.
That froze a little bit for a second there, Gio. It happens.
Santa's back. But yeah, Inoue, Nakatani on the same card. You would think they wouldn't have the biggest challenges, only because Inoue just had the big fight with Akhmadaliev. They're trying to build this one up. And you see there, Inoue 31-0, 27 KOs. He's 32 years old. The monster. He just fought in September, like I said, against MJ Akhmadaliev. He had that fight against Ramon Cardenas also this year. That was on Cinco de Mayo weekend, and then he fought in January. So his fourth fight of the year against David Picasso, who's 32-0, 17 KOs from Mexico. All right. Picasso, who's not, I wouldn't say he's the most known guy out there. He does have a good record. But you see what happens, man, when they get in there with the monster, Chris. We've seen some guys have decent performances. Cardenas. I think MJ's wasn't terrible either, but there's levels to this, man. And of course, Junto Nakatani, 31-0, 24 KOs. He's 27 years old. He's now on that Inoue undercard, which is very, very interesting. And he's going up against Sebastian Hernandez Reyes, 20-0, 18 KOs from Tijuana, Baja California. On paper, these look like very good fights, but I mean, I'm not holding my predictions back, Santa. I think I'm going KO for both men. I don't know if you have anything different. But I just think they're both going to just be ready to go and take care of business because they know that there are bigger fights on the horizon and they got to be responsible here and, like I said, take care of business.
Well, let me just say, Gio, Santa also has a wish list, and that's one of them. Santa wants to see two of Japan's biggest and brightest get it on. Again, I have nothing but great things to say about the Japanese people. They're very wholesome, very honorable people. That's where I leave most of my gifts. Hardly any kids on the naughty list over there, Gio. But this is the fight Santa wants to see. I believe and agree with you that they should get knockouts, they should get wins, and set something up huge for next year. That's my hope, Gio. And if Santa could have it his way, that's exactly how he would do it.
And that's what it's looking like, Santa. Santa's preaching today, man. Santa's on fire. We got to give Santa some gifts, guys. Got to give Santa some presents. But yeah, as I said, Saturday, December 27th, Riyadh season, about 5 p.m. 5 a.m. Pacific. Early in the morning is the main event. About an hour before that would be the Nakatani fight, so don't miss that one either. About 8 a.m. Eastern for the main event, for the ring walk. So yeah, that should be exciting. I'm glad we're getting some good action here at the end of the year 2025 championship rounds.
And Gio, Santa's gonna be done after the 25th. Any returns, any comebacks, kids, you better call Amazon or something else because Santa's gonna be busy watching that fight.
Yeah, I feel that, Santa. All right, what else we got here? I think we got some fight announcements for January. We can get into that a little bit, obviously. They got Zurdo Ramirez fighting on the 16th. He's supposed to fight against Benavides soon, hopefully. Raymond Murataya on the 24th of January, live from Las Vegas and the Zone. Interesting, it's on the Zone. Top rank fighter there. It's going up against Andy Cruz. And then, of course, the big fight of January, Teofimo Lopez Jr. against Shakur Stevenson, New York. And that's also on the Zone.
Yeah, again, those are very good fights, Gio. Santa's gonna be there paying attention to those fights. He's gonna be paying attention to the ref, Gio. Any ref, any judge that does something wrong, naughty list, Gio.
Too bad Chris missing out, missing hanging out with Santa. Yeah, man, he's gonna watch the show. I don't know if he's watching this live or not, Chris. If you're in the chat, hit us up. But hey, Santa's killing it right now. Let me tell you. Should bring you back? We should bring you back, Santa. When are you free again? After the 25th, you said you got some more time.
After the 25th, Gio, this Chris doesn't show up. If he had too many eggnog, you call me back.
Man, let's do it. But yeah, you guys notice how Santa knows me on a first name basis? Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's respect right there, Santa. Appreciate it. Salute. Santa, are you frozen again? Man, Santa keeps. I think Santa's tired, guys. We might have another 5 minutes in us. I think he's a little tired. Look at him.
This is the bell that should have ran for Jake Paul, Gio. Just saying. That's the bell that should have ran for Jake Paul.
Oh man. All right. What else we got? Anything else you want to mention, Mr. Santa?
No, Gio. Just again, shout out to everybody in the chat. You know, everybody except Alexis Big Bro is on the good list. Alexis stays on the naughty list until further notice. He needs a comeback round for next podcast.
Hey, you guys on the chat. What's your wish list for Christmas, man? Santa's here. All right. If it's a fight, drop it. Drop it in the comments. Santa's here. Maybe he might be able to help us out. Maybe he gets in touch with Turkey, and makes it happen. Maybe he's got connects like that. Chris, sorry, Santa. Sorry. Nah, Chris is not here. Mr. Santa, do you ever drop by Riyadh over there, Saudi Arabia?
I hear I'm not wanted out there, but no, I drop some care packages every now and then, Gio. They're doing some good things.
He
There's
said
a little controversy going over there right now with Mr. Turkey. Sometimes he's on the good list. Next week he's on the bad. We'll see by the end of the year, Gio.
God no. And I don't know who NM is, man. Flat out.
He said, I'm not wanted sometimes, but I still show up. True Santa fashion right there. All right. Yeah, I think that's all we got. Nakatani versus Inoue, says Iceman. You hear that, Santa?
That's a good fight, Gio. That's the fight that a lot of kids have been asking Santa. Santa can't make miracles, but he's gonna have to play some politics and maybe put some promoters on the good list to make that happen.
Which Santa? Let me ask you this: if you had one gift, if someone had to give you this gift, would you prefer Inoue Nakatani or Inoue Bam Rodriguez?
That's very intriguing, Gio. Very intriguing. I think most people would like to see Nakatani Inoue, but I think next year Bam versus Inoue, maybe a year and a half, two from now. I think I'm gonna start seeing that on their wish list. I think Bam needs to grow just a little bit, but I think eventually it will be a very intriguing match down the line.
I'm gonna write my comment. I'm gonna say AJ versus Fury. They just got to. They
That's
just
a
got to.
good one.
They got to make it happen, man. One time,
That's
they
a
got to
good
make it
one.
happen. I've been hearing rumors of a possible Deontay Wilder against Alexander Usyk, which is wild to me.
That is wild. That's why they call him Wilder. But ooh, that Usyk is a bad man. He's a bad man, Gio. He's always on the good list, even though he's a bad man.
He's also very few out here.
Very real. Very real.
All right. I think that's all we got, Santa. We won't keep you for too long. All right. We appreciate you for joining us.
God no. And I don't know who NM is, man.
And thank you, Gio. Again, whenever you need me, you don't need that horrible partner of yours, Christian here. He's on the good list, but he's horrible.
Well, hopefully he had a good break, and comes back next week, because next week we got a big show, the conclusion essentially to the year, the last round, the last minute. We got to talk about what we saw in 2025. Best fighter of the year, best knockout of the year, best trainer of the year. We're going to have a week of, a lot of homework. We got to really dig deep, dig in those files. I shouldn't say that word, huh, Santa? I
It's
feel
okay,
like that's
Gio.
a naughty word.
That is a naughty word, Gio, but you backed in 11 good months of being good. I can't take out the naughty list for just one bad round.
All right, I appreciate that. But yeah, we'll dig deep in those files. We won't black anything out, Mr. Santa. We'll make sure that we're transparent, and we want to do our homework, and we want to come up with the best lists. We want to come up with the best winners, and you guys can help us as well. Be on the lookout on the posts tab on YouTube. You guys can vote. You guys, as always, are the third judge. You're the third vote. Chris, whenever he comes back, gets a vote. I get a vote, and then you guys, the audience, are that third judge. You guys will help us decide the winners. All right, so be on the lookout for the next week. We'll be posting those one by one, little by little. As I said, fighter of the year, trainer of the year, fight of the year, knockout of the year, all that good stuff. It's always an exciting list. I feel like we've had a pretty good year. We're going to rate the year as well. And yeah, it should be an exciting show next Tuesday. So make sure to tune in.
And Gio, I must say, Santa's excited for who you guys picked for fight of the year. Earlier in the year, a lot of people think Crawford was a clear runaway for his huge win, but you cannot discount the monster Inoue. Fighting 4 times undisputed is something that's not done lightly, Gio. So it looks like probably the fans might have to split and decide that one there. But very excited, Gio, for those award shows.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And yeah, we're going to get out of here. Santa is freezing a little bit. Must be really cold where you are right now, Santa. All right.
Not even the North Pole is this cold, Gio.
Oh, man. Hopefully he treats him like AJ did Jake Paul, says Kyle. Man, throwing some haymakers back here. Usyk Let me see. Let me see. Usyk want Wilder to get a big paycheck, he says. Shout out to Kyle. Say hi.
Kyle coming at the end, and Kyle coming at the end trying to get a last minute gift. Shout out to you, Kyle.
Yeah, he usually tries to steal those last rounds, so careful with him. I'm sure he'll throw a haymaker soon. Say hi to Santa, Kyle. All right.
We'll see where Kyle lands on the naughty list. He's right down the middle, man.
He's a good naughty. He's a good naughty. No Diddy. Man, let's get out of here, man. Let's get out of here. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. As I said last. Yeah, go ahead.
You know Diddy's on the naughty list, too. That's a fact.
That's a given. Man, like AB said.
I know. And I don't know who NM is, man. Flat out.
100%. And don't forget, next week, last show of the year. It's going to be a fun one. Help us vote. Help us vote. Be on the lookout for those votes. And that's it. Mr. Santa, you've been killing it today. I'm going to let you take us out.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas to everybody. A huge shout out to all your fans, Gio, and that other podcast host, Christian. Without your fans, this podcast would be nothing. So even shout out to Big Bro, even though he's on the naughty list. Thank you, guys.
Peace.
God, no. And I don't know who NM is, man. Flat out.
To this day. To this day. To this day.
Santa wants a payday. Payday. Santa wants a payday.
Hola amigos, soy Juan Francisco Gallo Estrada. Quiero mandar un saludo para mis amigos de Contra las Cuerdas. Échenle muchas ganas. Un abrazo, muchas bendiciones.
Shout out to Against the Ropes. You know what mine is? Let's box, bitches. It's almost fight night.
Shout out to Against the Ropes. Thank you for the support. Keep doing your thing. You're doing a great job. So thank you and best wishes.
Huge shout out to Against the Ropes. Against the Ropes.
Shout out to Against the Ropes. Thank you guys for the interview and hope to see you guys soon.
Against the Ropes, always doing the right thing.
Shout out to Against the Ropes, man. I appreciate you guys.